Alright, so I am reading Astro Poets. I'm going to read a random segment from Astro Poets. And it says Your Guides to the Zodiac. And it's by Alex Dimitrov. Or is that a V at the end? Alex Dimitrov. Dimitrov. Or is that a Y? And Dorothy. That's an interesting way to spell their Dorothy. Lasky. Okay. So let's open up. Alright, so I see it says the Pisces imagination. If a Pisces were a city, they'd be San Francisco, moody, surrounded by water, fog, and sun competing with each other at all times. Spiritually, it's as close to Europe and America as possible. That in itself is a Pisces mood. There's something whimsical about being so close to the end of the West. Like the beyond is right there and also nowhere. Like there's not another edge from which to see that far. If they were punctuation, they'd be a colon. Inclusive, unassuming, housing a never-ending list of mementos. Room? A childhood bedroom. Time of day? The gloaming. And if they were weather, a Pisces would be warm winter rain. Unexpected and soothing, making room for a melancholy you never knew you wanted. The Pisces imagination is hopefulness itself. They have that special gift for seeing how dysfunctional reality is, yet refusing to be discouraged. Actually, that part's very true. That one sentence I resonate with. This is because every Pisces believes in magic and the unseen. They see art as the highest intelligence. Okay, I agree with those last three sentences. It's 9:33 p.m. and yeah, that just popped up on my screen for some reason. And I'm at 2 minutes and 16 seconds out of 5 minutes and 10 seconds, and it's going to allow me to record even though I just deleted 10 minutes of space off my phone. Cool. So, it says, okay, they see art as the highest intelligence and affect as its own religion. For a Pisces, time is a river, and at any moment the river is a different river. The light, the rocks, the life beneath, they're changing, moving towards something not necessarily perfect, but real, and certainly alive, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, planet of dreams, receptivity, and creation. It may take them longer than others to decide on a life path. They think of everything they do as a vocation, not a career. There is mindful intention behind their choices, and also a lot of self-torture, even over what may seem insignificant, like buying the right flowers. Pisces love white tulips, blue hydrangea, and any rose. They'll easily admit this about their decision-making. It has been going on since they were born, since they were able to think and feel, which was probably before they were born. True. Probably around some time around conception. A crippling self-awareness comes with the idealism that Pisces are handed at birth. They know the world does not reward idealists. They also know that only idealists can change the world. That's absolutely true. How do they deal with this? Well, for one, most Pisces stare at the ceiling for a very long time before going to bed, and for at least an hour after waking up. That's funny. If they didn't have obligations to get to, they could spend their entire day thinking and staring at that ceiling. They could write letters for hours. 2 novels are constantly being written in their heads. In one, they have a relationship with everyone who's ever looked at them. And the other, they find that one person on a crowded platform, someone who already knows their name and has the good sense to take them to a charming place with a view for a glass of wine, a view of the city or anywhere overlooking life in action, a place from which a Pisces can see that people don't regret life, that they keep going no matter the weather. Pisces are architects of the past. The past continues for them. The past continues for them like it's seamlessly the present. They also know that time is not linear. It's not how they experience it, and it's why if you've ever dated a Pisces and decide to show up to their door 10 years later, they'll welcome you the way they welcomed you the first time. They'll remember all the moments when they felt alive with you. They won't hold on to bad things. One of my Pisces boyfriends liked to get high and record little songs he made up for me on his phone. He'd send them to me in the middle of the night, maybe around 3 or 4 when I was sleeping. He wanted to make sure I woke up and listened to them first thing. They were these dreamy, folky ramblings about love, peace, and food. Each time I listened to one of them, I think, I really hope the world doesn't crush this person. All Pisces are pacifists and will only fight intellectually or over their own ethics. That's quite interesting. I consider myself a pacifist, definitely. They're not power hungry or greedy. They love animals. Most people who work for sanctuaries are Pisces. You can't really say that they're dog or cat people. They're more like cat, snake, bird, ant, wolf, and dog people. The animal kingdom is something they cherish because of its purity. Arts inclined as they are, Pisces would make great scientists. They feel deeply connected to the environment and would live outside for the remainder of their lives if they could. Too much of the indoors makes them highly anxious. They need to be reminded that there is a world out there and that they're not alone. It might sound like a paradox, but the people who know they're most connected to others often forget it when faced with their despair. And despair for a Pisces is a slow, existential IV drip. It's constantly going. It never seems to run out. Dance and theater are two other areas where Pisces excel. Any profession where they can use their bodies, preferably in relation to others, is good for them. They make great actors. They're good in business too. Personal touch and an ability to relate to their clients emotionally is what gets them many deals. While they might resist going to a party, they'll also be the last to leave. They love being around people. A Pisces will listen to anyone's story and indulge in them. Even if they find it sad, boring, unbelievable, they'll listen. And they'll earnestly try to understand why things turned out the way they did. They'll try to see if they're in love with the person telling the story. Most of the time they are, but they also know what it's like to leave a room being in love with everyone. They're used to forgiving people for being disappointing, and they're used to loving flaws. An ideal day for Pisces would be one where they wake up alone and then see everyone they've ever slept with and everyone they've almost slept with too. What? This takes care of the entire population, but what you need to know is they'd rather go to bed alone. This is because sex is not the most important thing to them. They don't consider it the greatest intimacy. For a Pisces, the greatest romance is friendship. This is what they live for. They have no trouble being alone because they have their memories. They have the photos and songs, all the things they've kept and written. Scrapbooks are for Pisces. A Pisces is a scrapbook. Funny. Let's turn the page and see what's next. I only have like less than a minute left before my storage runs out. Great. Since they're the oldest and most knowledgeable ones, they're here to change the world. The famous Pisces. Yeah, I didn't know Albert Einstein was a Pisces or George Washington. I don't know who that. Oh, okay. Well, without Pisces, things would be a lot less comfortable and a lot less beautiful too. The true portrait of a Pisces is Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, only the second woman to be appointed to the Supreme Court. Very tough and deeply compassionate. She's proof that these qualities can coexist and that people who possess them can be of great service to others. Okay, so I'm just going to continue at Elizabeth Taylor. I have 3 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock left to read, and then I'm going to post this and start a new one. Elizabeth Taylor, a Pisces who was famously married 8 times, was once quoted saying, "Some of my best leading men have been dogs and horses." She looked for love everywhere, and it became clear to her how abundant it was. It didn't have to start in marriage or end in divorce. While they'll certainly play along with cultural norms, Pisces love to deviate. If they could, they'd float in and out of people's lives without any disturbance and without any attachment. The no disturbance part is possible for them. The no attachment is not unrealistic. If you want to see a truly Pisces film, watch Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. There is so much tension and so much at stake, but everything is between people and can be solved by them too. As much as is it. What was that? Are you okay? As much as oh my goodness. As much as it's a film about chaos and race, it's truly a film about love. Or the potential for it. Having had so many lives on Earth, Pisces understand conflict differently than the rest of us. They know it's inevitable and sometimes necessary. They're willing to endure it, but are more comfortable in therapy mode, trying to make things work. Does it surprise anyone then that one of the longest, strangest, and most powerful novels of our time, Infinite Jest, was written by a Pisces? In it, David Foster Wallace tries to capture, well, everything, the uncontainable, the uncapturable. As a reader, you're often deeply uncomfortable and confused. What Wallace gets down in Infinite Jest is the mind at work. Layers of experience that are important and unimportant, but cannot be forgotten. All of them point to the future. At times, you don't know if you should cry or laugh or be furious. All of the emotions, all the time. That's Pisces. Other famous Pisces include Steve Jobs, hooray, Lisa Minnelli, Nat King Cole, W.E.B. Du Bois, George Harrison, Michelangelo, Justin Bieber, Drew Barrymore, Ansel Adams, and Queen Latifah.